How are you doing today? All okay? Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm great, guys. How are you? New chapter today. Yes, Aman. This is the first chapter, first session for thermodynamics. चले start करें without wasting much time. My day was good, Dharya. HSC 12 standard results came out today. Maharashtra board. Maharashtra board 12 standard results. Chale, let's start. So, guys, this is perhaps the most important chapter. This is perhaps the most important chapter in entire physical chemistry by far. And I'm not talking just about your syllabus. Thermodynamics is by far the most important chapter in entire physical chemistry. Even in organic or inorganic chemistry, most of the most of the theorems or formulas or any logic that needs to be derived that comes from thermodynamics only. I'll give you some examples that you have already studied. How do you decide solubility of a compound? Based on hydration energy and lattice energy, correct? How do you decide whether an atom can gain electron or lose electron very easily? Based on ionization energy and electron gain enthalpy, right? Mole concept may we did not talk about energy anywhere because we were not concerned about it. Atomic structure. Atomic structure, in the beginning of atomic structure itself, when we balanced energies, half mv square equal to mv square by sorry, kq1 q2 by r square equal to half mv square. Again energy equating, again thermo energy related. Even in chapters that we are going to study, chemical equilibrium, ionic equilibrium, chemical kinetics, electrochemistry, surface chemistry, these are some chapters to list in physical जहाँ पे सब जगह thermodynamics आने ही वाला है. And even in organic and inorganic, you will again talk about energies, whether a reaction can take place or no. So सब जगह it will be talking about thermodynamics. So ideally speaking, this chapter should be the first chapter in 11th standard, but because it contains very higher level concepts, we don't cover it first. You need to build up some maturity in the subject to be able to understand and solve questions. Okay. So this is the importance of thermodynamics in from theory perspective. Sir, how is it important from question solving, or do they ask a lot of questions from this chapter? Yes, they do. It is expected that 2 to 3 questions in mains will be overall from thermodynamics and thermochemistry. So it is indeed very important. And yes, is chapter ke questions can be made pretty difficult. How can they be made difficult? Do you agree that advanced level paper generally contains more than one chapter ke concepts mixed together in one question? And what better chapter than thermodynamics, which already is involved in every chapter? Hence, advance may, if they want to make very difficult questions, thermodynamics is the chapter to do that. That being said, is this chapter difficult? Is this chapter difficult? No, this chapter is not difficult. If you practice enough, if you mug the formulas properly, this chapter is not difficult. Okay. Thermodynamics and thermochemistry is actually the name of this entire chapter. We'll discuss everything as and when the time comes. Thermodynamics and thermochemistry is the name of the complete chapter. So how are we going to cover this chapter? What will be the layout? First we start talking about thermodynamics. Under thermodynamics, we first have today's lecture as the intro lecture, where we'll be introducing lots of terms. After the intro lecture, then we'll be discussing about what are different kind of processes. And then we will come to laws of thermodynamics. In laws of thermodynamics, we will have zeroth law, first law, second law, and third law. Okay. After covering zeroth law, before going to the first law, we will be talking about three quantities: delta U, Q, and W. We'll be also talking about a fourth one called delta H. वो वन के पहले या वन के बाद depends, not nothing hard and fast. But essentially, these quantities will get used in your first law of thermodynamics. कौन सी चीज क्या होती है सब डिस्कस करूंगा in detail. Now, second law का काम क्या होगा? Second law will introduce us to two quantities called entropy and Gibbs free energy. And third law will also talk about entropy, but absolute entropy, not change in entropy. These are the laws of thermodynamics and what will be the flow. Once we are done with this, अरे यार, once we are done with this, then we will start talking about thermochemistry. Thermochemistry would basically deal with energies related to a reaction. Okay, so therefore we'll be starting off by talking the chapter by discussing about Hess law, and then we'll be talking about various energies. Various energy मतलब क्या? Enthalpy of hydrogenation, enthalpy of lattice and lattice energy, enthalpy of neutralization, enthalpy of formation, ऐसे बहुत सारी energies हमें पढ़ना होगा. And then finally, we will end thermochemistry by talking about delta H, delta S, delta U, delta G in a reaction. This is the primary flow of the chapter. Calculation is not that difficult. Calculation is not that difficult. But yes, there are lots of formulae. How much time will we take roughly to complete this chapter? We'll take around 10 to 12 lectures to complete this chapter. प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, सारी चीजें डिटेल में कवर करेंगे. दैट विल टेक अस अराउंड 10 to 12 लेक्चर्स. 15 थोड़ा ज्यादा हो गया. आई एम नॉट अलाउड टू गो टिल 15th. नाउ 26th वाले टेस्ट में 26th वाले टेस्ट में व्हाट ऑल इज कमिंग फ्रॉम थर्मोडायनामिक्स. You should continue, Tanya. So, guys, those who are not, I got this question earlier as well, sir, that I have not completed gaseous state practice. Should I continue with thermodynamics? Today's is an intro lecture of thermodynamics. सिर्फ theory होगा थोड़ा सा, वो भी ज्यादा नहीं. And only that much is coming from the 20 for the 26th test. When is our next lecture? Our next lecture is anyways, I think Monday or Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah, so our next lecture is anyways Monday. So you'll get enough time to wrap up your gaseous state backlog. Till then, you don't have to solve thermo anyways. Yes, Anish, you will kill this chapter like atomic structure. I'm sure of that. Chale, continue. Let's start the chapter. What are we going to talk about in this chapter today? This is your roadmap basically. We'll start with discussing the importance of thermodynamics. Then we'll define what is called a system surrounding in universe. ये थोड़ी थोड़ी बातें मैं पहले भी कर चुका हूँ already इनसे related. But we'll talk about it in detail now. Then we'll talk about what do you mean by intensive and extensive properties, state function and path function, and we'll end with discussion with internal energy in today's class. So, what is the meaning of thermodynamics? Thermodynamics ka meaning basically is heat ka movement or movement of energy if not heat. First of all, is energy and heat the same thing? Is energy and heat the same thing? Which is a superset? Which is a superset? Energy is a superset, right? Energy is a superset. So thermodynamics not only deals with the transfer of heat, it also deals with the transfer of energy. Okay. Now, what are we going to talk about it here now is in this chapter in 11th standard, we'll be discussing the interconversion of work and heat. Or I should rather generalize and say, we'll be talking about interconversion of various forms of energy. Will we be looking at microscopic level? No. We will be talking only macroscopic level. What do you mean by macroscopic level? Macroscopic level means if I say that a beaker has 100 ml water, you will not go and talk about individual molecule of water. You will treat the 100 ml water in the beaker as a single entity. Sir, why is it different? Macroscopic thermodynamics and microscopic thermodynamics? Yes, they are different. Macroscopic thermodynamics that we will study in 11th is a generalization of microscopic thermodynamics. And microscopic thermodynamics is extremely difficult in comparison to this, what we'll be covering. Microscopic thermodynamics के बारे में therefore we will not be talking about at all. If you end up reading somewhere in some reference book, you can definitely ask me on Telegram, but not in class. Now, what do we mean by no? We don't study microscopic thermodynamics at all. It is if you want to study about it, you have to first take chemical engineering in IITs, and then you have to take statistical thermodynamics ka additional course, which is generally given to postgraduate students. That is after your graduation. So no, you will not be talking about it at all. Now, when we say transfer of heat, when we say transfer of heat or transfer of energy, in thermodynamics, it is an assumption that initially system is also in equilibrium, and after the transfer of energy, system again reaches equilibrium. Equilibrium किसके बीच में? We'll be talking about it. But overall, entire thing should be earlier also in equilibrium, and after the transfer of energy, it should also reach again equilibrium. Non equilibrium system मतलब बीच में क्या हो रहा है, we don't talk about it in thermodynamics, at least in 11th standard. Is this point very very clear? Macroscopic thermodynamics is applicable only on equilibrium system, मतलब पहले भी इक्विलिब्रियम होना चाहिए एंड प्रोसेस परफॉर्म होने के बाद भी इक्विलिब्रियम आ जाना चाहिए. So I talk about I compare the two equilibrium states. I don't talk about anything happening in between which is changing with time. Changing with time तो kinetics हो गया ना. Changing with time means kinetics. We don't deal about changing with time in macroscopic thermodynamics at all. Now, when we say equilibrium or when we say thermodynamic equilibrium, what does it mean? Guys, do you remember? Thermodynamic equilibrium means three equilibriums existing together. One thermal equilibrium, one mechanical equilibrium, sorry, mechanical equilibrium, and the third chemical equilibrium. What do the three things mean? What do the three things mean? Thermal equilibrium means all temperatures have become constant. I'm not saying temperature change is zero. I'm saying all temperatures have become constant. जिसका जो temperature था वो fix हो गया, अब change नहीं हो रहा है. If all temperatures have become constant, this would automatically mean that heat transfer has become zero, isn't it? Because heat transfer takes place only when the temperature is different. What do we mean by mechanical equilibrium? Mechanical equilibrium means F net is zero. Not just F net zero, torque net also zero. Torque नहीं पता तो physics वाले पढ़ाएंगे. Sir, why did you say F net as well as torque net? I said F net as well as torque net because suppose I have a rod. I apply one force here, I apply one force here. It is hinged about the center. So F net is zero, but it will keep moving like this, isn't it? Sorry, ulta. So torque net should also be zero, no movement basically. Now, what does chemical equilibrium means? If A is in chemical equilibrium with B, that means concentration of A and concentration of B have become constant. I am not saying they have become equal. जैसा यहाँ पे मैंने नहीं बोला था temperatures have become equal. I said temperatures have become constant. Similarly, here concentration of A and B they have not become equal. They have become what? Constant. Chemical equilibrium के बारे में डिटेल में एक पूरा चैप्टर है. We'll be talking about it there because I'm sure this part is not digested, isn't it? So we'll be talking about it in detail in chemical equilibrium chapter. I'll not be answering anything related to it now. Even thermal equilibrium वाला part we are not, see this point we are not interested at all. ये मैं सिर्फ theory point से cover कर रहा हूँ कि what does thermodynamic equilibrium mean. It means all three equilibrium at the same time. Nobody will ever ask you the details of it. How is delta t equal to zero and ti constant different? It is different actually. It is not the same thing. You will understand this when we talk about in this chapter more. It is possible to heat up an object and then cool down an object and bring it to the same temperature so that delta t has become zero. But was the temperature actually constant throughout? But the temperature, was it actually constant? No. So that is the difference. We'll talk about it in detail. As I said, anything that is related to energy can be decided only based on thermodynamics. How much heat do you need to melt a piece of ice? How much food intake is necessary so that a body can work efficiently on a daily basis? Again, energy calculations, right? Body loses heat in thousand forms. Is it that energy taken in the form of food is converted into ATP 100%? Absolutely no. Huge amount of energy is lost in maintaining body temperature as heat, and huge amount of energy is lost when it is excreted out as well because we are not excreting material with zero energy. उसमें भी तो कुछ energy present है. So all that calculations will have to be done with the help of thermodynamics only. Now, do you guys remember we talked about spontaneous process? What does spontaneous process mean? Instantly or on its own? It means on its own, not instantly. Nirmay has an issue. Sir, really, I don't. Really, what do you don't? Quick, you don't remember, then go back and study. Now that you know that you don't remember, it's easier to remember it, isn't it? What is easier to remember? That you don't remember. So mark it and study after the class. कोई बात नहीं निर्मय. We'll be talking about spontaneous process again in this chapter. Don't worry. So, how do we decide a process is spontaneous or no? How do we decide whether two reactants will react together and give product or no? That is also decided based on thermodynamics only. How do I know that if I take so many reactants, I will get less products, normal amount of products, or almost 100% conversion? This is also decided based on thermodynamics. Okay. So not just energy related changes, reaction का yield कितना होने वाला है, that is also decided based on thermodynamics. आ गया mole concept का part इसमें, because we talked about yield and all in mole concept only. तो वो भी we'll talk about it slowly and gradually. This was the first point. What is the significance of thermodynamics? Now Suppose you have a beaker full of water and you start heating the water. You want to observe the temperature change of water. Okay. And you are in a laboratory, there are thousand things around you. To confirm the temperature of water in that beaker which is getting heated up, do you take the temperature of everything that is present in your lab? Why not? Why not? हो सकता है because of your heating, due to some heat loss, something else is getting heated up. Not required. Why is it not required? Because it is not part of your system which is under observation. What was your system under observation? The beaker, the water inside it. That's it, isn't it? An experiment or a reading needs to be conducted on a defined system. मैं मेरे बीकर को हीट कर रहा हूं, मैं पड़ोसी के बीकर का टेम्परेचर क्यों लूंगा? कोई लॉजिक नहीं बनता उसमें. इट्स एन अननेसेसरी डेटा. Right? So a system means, pay attention, a system means part of the universe under study or under observation. Everything else in the universe apart from your system will be called as surroundings. And what are we interested now here is how do systems and surroundings interact with each other? I repeat, the entire world along with the Milky Way, etc., will be called as the universe. System will be a part of the universe under observation. That could be a beaker, that could be a city, that could be earth, that could be Milky Way. What is surrounding then? Anything that is not part of the system is surrounding. So is there a separation between system and surrounding? Yes, absolutely, we call that a boundary. Is the meaning of system, surrounding and boundary understood? We'll talk about that. Yes, system plus surrounding therefore becomes the universe. सो पता है ये चीज ना अभी आपको बहुत ट्रिवियल लगती है क्या चिंदी पॉइंट है, सिस्टम प्लस सराउंडिंग इक्वल टू यूनिवर्स, इसमें क्या होएगा, कुछ नहीं पूछ सकते क्वेश्चंस. बट थिंक अबाउट इट व्हेन यू हैव टू डिजाइन एन एक्सपेरिमेंट at a level of a factory. Suppose a factory is a system. Now, apart from factory, everything else is the surrounding. Now think about it. There are so many ways in which a factory can interact with its surroundings. There are so many ways in which a factory can interact with the surrounding. Raw material input, final product output, byproduct output, heat losses, sound losses, heat input in the form of fuel, mechanical inputs, mechanical outputs, fuel burn karte hain to wo losses. So there are thousands of ways in which a system and a surrounding can interact. Is it necessary, or is it, 1 minute, is it easy to into account all these interactions? Absolutely no, it will be extremely difficult to do that. So how do we do it? So we can do it by intelligently designing our system, intelligently defining our system, so that the interaction between surrounding and system is manageable. Important समझ में आ रहा है सिस्टम का? तानिया, नाउ योर बढ़ा चढ़ा के क्यों बोलते वाला स्टेटमेंट इज अंडरस्टूड. That because actually when we talk about system surrounding interactions, lab level pe it is not that important, but at an industry level it is extremely important. I'll tell you one very simple example out of it. Very funny example. uh, रिलायंस जामनगर फैक्ट्री नाम तो सबने सुना होगा. रिलायंस जामनगर ऑयल रिफाइनरी. No, if you have not, your GK is very poor. You should go and read about it. So, Reliance Jamnagar Oil Refinery is one of the largest grassroots refineries in the world. They claim, listen, they claim that they have no solid waste output. They claim that they have no solid waste output. What do? They have a dumping site inside the refinery. So they have defined their system So they have defined their system in such an intelligent way that yes, they have a zero solid waste output. So this is where defining of system becomes very important. Now, what do we mean by boundary? We said that a boundary is something. No, say they actually have a dumping yard, a huge ass dumping yard, like a proper municipality wala dumping yard. The other way they get rid of their solid waste is they burn it away. The other way they get rid of their solid waste is they burn it away. So no solid waste disposal. तो पोल्यूशन का क्या, नो सॉलिड वेस्ट डिस्पोजल बोला ना मैंने तो. चलो लेट्स कंटिन्यू. So boundary means what? Boundary means something that separates surrounding and the system. Correct. Now boundaries are of two types. One is a real boundary and one is a imaginary boundary. Suppose you have a cup of tea, a glass of tea. Now, can I say that the glass itself is a real boundary, and this circular surface on the top is imaginary boundary if my system is whatever is inside the glass? If my system is whatever is inside the glass, then I have a real boundary here and I have an imaginary boundary here. Correct. Now real boundaries can be of two types. They can be either rigid like this glass wall, or they can be flexible like a balloon. Technically, what does it mean? Can I say that a rigid boundary system essentially means volume constant? Think about it. A complete rigid boundary system essentially means volume constant, and a flexible boundary system means pressure constant, because volume will increase and decrease accordingly. So ये point important है, याद रखना. When the question says rigid boundary, it means volume constant. When the question says flexible boundary, it means pressure constant. मैं यहाँ पे लिख दे रहा हूँ. Now I'm sure this part is very very clear. Boundaries, real boundaries, can also be classified as diathermic or adiabatic. Diathermic means heat transfer is allowed. Diathermic means heat transfer is allowed. And adiabatic means heat transfer is not allowed. Adiabatic means heat transfer is not allowed. Like the walls of a thermos flask. The walls of a thermos flask is adiabatic boundary, correct? And the wall of a normal steel vessel or a glass vessel will be diathermic in nature. No, Aditya, you will not infer anything unless I tell you to infer, because we have just started this chapter. As I said, no inferring anything. We have just started this chapter. So, real boundary can be rigid, can be flexible. This is one way of classification. Another way of classification is diathermic or adiabatic. So, a real boundary can be rigid and diathermic, or rigid and adiabatic, or flexible and diathermic, or flexible and adiabatic. दोनों अलग अलग वे ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन है. Like you can be a man and a Indian as well, isn't it? One is classification based on nationality, other is classification based on gender. उस हिसाब से. Won't pressure change in flexible boundary if the size of balloon changes? Shardul, the size of balloon changes to maintain the same pressure. सोच के देखो. Why does a balloon expand when you blow air inside it? Because you are trying to increase the pressure. The balloon does not want to increase the pressure, so it expands. या वी इंक्रीजेस, हु सेइंग नो? फ्लेक्सिबल का तो मतलब ही ये हुआ ना, दैट द साइज ऑफ द बाउंड्री कैन चेंज. An example of diathermic and flexible, a balloon. Rubber is not insulating. Rubber is conducting, relatively conducting. So flexible and diathermic would be rubber simply. And then flexible and adiabatic would be, I'll tell you flexible and adiabatic a simple example. You have a cylinder and there is a piston on it, pichkari type ka piston, which can move up and down. And the walls of this cylinder are made of the same walls that a thermos flask is made of. The piston is also made of the same material of that of thermos flask. Now, this piston is free to move up and down. If this piston is free to move up and down, matlab the volume can change. That means it's an example of flexible boundary. And because it is made of thermos flask walls, and because it is made of thermos flask walls, so it is adiabatic. Clear, no confusion here. This should be very, very clear to everybody, that we are talking about a set diagram, a Venn diagram here. You have surroundings, you have system, and total is universe. What separates the surrounding and the system? A boundary. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Wait 1 minute. यहाँ पे मैंने जो एग्जाम्पल लिया, दिस वॉज एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ रियल विथ इमेजिनरी बाउंड्री. कैन यू थिंक ऑफ एन एग्जाम्पल वेयर ओनली देर इज इमेजिनरी बाउंड्री, नो रियल बाउंड्री? Only imaginary boundary, no real boundary at all. Earth, Earth, a simple example, if I want to observe the heating of Earth, it does not have a real boundary. If I want to measure, if I want to measure how many fishes a lake has, do I go and count the number of fishes? Obviously no. What I do is I define an imaginary cube of 1 meter by 1 meter, let's say, and I just count how many fishes pass through it in a given time. So water bodies, earth, they all become example of only imaginary boundary system. Now let's discuss. So हमने अभी तक क्या क्या cover कर लिया? We have discussed what is system, what is surrounding, what is boundary. Now we need to understand how the system and surroundings can interact with each other. I can say that a system and a surrounding can interact with each other by transfer of, I'm not saying equilibrium, okay, by transfer of either heat, or I should rather say heat नहीं बोलना चाहिए, I should rather say energy or mass. Think about it. A system and a surrounding can interact with each other by exchange of energy or exchange of mass or both. एनर्जी में सब आ गया, हीट, वर्क, मैकेनिकल एनर्जी, एजिटेशन, सब. राइट नाउ, बेस्ड ऑन हाउ एक्सचेंज ऑफ मास, गरम चाय की प्याली, इसमें से निकल रही स्टीम, हुआ एक्सचेंज ऑफ मास. एक रिएक्टर है, उसमें आई एडेड रिएक्टेंट्स, एक्सचेंज ऑफ मास. रिएक्टेंट है, आई रिमूव, रिएक्शन है, आई रिमूव्ड प्रोडक्ट्स, एक्सचेंज ऑफ मास. क्लियर? अरे यार, इतना कंफ्यूजन क्यों है? व्हाई ओनली फॉर इमेजिनरी बाउंड्री? डिड आई से एनीथिंग लाइक दैट? ऑब्वियसली इमेजिनरी बाउंड्री के अक्रॉस मास ट्रांसफर होगा ना. इफ देर इज अ रियल बाउंड्री, डू यू वांट टू टेलीपोर्ट मास अक्रॉस इट? Please don't unnecessarily derive inferences and conclusions. It will just confuse you. I will do all that derivation for you. No pressure. How will pressure come under energy? A physician just committed suicide. How? Why will pressure come under energy, Baba? Pressure is force per unit area. Energy का one form can be force into displacement. No, Janvi, energy can also come to the system. Na, if I heat a system, energy is coming to the system. अरे क्योंकि प्रेशर एनर्जी नहीं होता ना. Pressure is a manifestation of force. Pressure is a manifestation of force. Force exchanged can always be written in terms of energy, isn't it? When I say that a system is mechanically, when I say that a system is mixed, when you mix it, what are you doing? You are passing on mechanical work by applying force on the particles, by mixing them. Now, is it understood, Anish? सो प्लीज ऐसी रैंडम बातें ना करें. थोड़ा सा सर पैर रखें बातों का तो बेटर रहेगा. चलो. सो based on how the system interacts with the surroundings, we define an open system, a closed system, and an isolated system. Based on how the system interacts with the surrounding, we define open system, closed system, and isolated system. Open system means what? Open system means both transfer is allowed, energy as well as mass. Something like a heating pan. You have a pan, you are boiling water. By heating, you are giving energy to the system. When water molecules become vapor and escape out of it, mass escapes out of the system or mass gets transferred. So open system means exchange of matter as well as energy. Closed system would mean exchange of energy but not matter, as the name suggests, closed. And finally, isolated system would mean what? No exchange of energy as well as mass. Isolate करके रखा हुआ है. The system is isolated from the surroundings. Is it worth studying isolated system? Absolutely not. I cannot interact with the system to take any measurement, isn't it? If I try to interact with the system, it no longer remains isolated. So it does not make sense talking about isolated systems. So we rarely discuss isolated systems in this chapter. Now, open system becomes extremely difficult to study. Why? When a water vapor ka molecule escapes from the system, is it only mass escaping or energy is also escaping? Both are escaping. So it becomes very, very difficult to keep an account of it. It is extremely challenging to do that. We study that in third year chemical engineering, how to account for both mass and energy changes. And that is why we will not study open systems also. Open system तो आएगा ही नहीं कहीं पे भी in this chapter. Isolated, still you will get some questions. Major questions will be based on therefore what? Closed system. So in 11th standard thermodynamics, we have to deal with majorly energy changes. We will not be dealing with mass changes. Is this point very, very, very clear? We will be talking about energy changes and not mass changes. There'll be rare questions in which there'll be mass change happening, but वो फिर trivial होगा, easy होगा. So we have defined what is called a system. How do I study a system? We study a system based on its physical properties, isn't it? We study a system based on its physical properties, or I should say by measuring the values of certain physical properties. ये ज्यादा correct answer हुआ. We can study a system by measuring the values of certain physical quantities or physical properties. Now, do you remember we have defined state of a system earlier as a set of collection of these values of certain physical properties? For example, if I have a box in which there is a gas present, to describe this system, I need pressure, volume, temperature, and number of moles as the physical properties. Right now, the values are P1, V1, T1, N1. By doing something, the values become P2, V2, T2, and N2. So I will call this as state 1 and I will call this as state 2. What does it mean? State 1 is basically the collection of values of P, V, T, and N, and state 2 is another collection of values of P, V, T, and N. सारा का सारा चेंज होना जरूरी है क्या? Absolutely no. Even if one changes, the state of the system would have changed. If you remember, I gave you the example of a classroom. If a classroom is a system, students come, they sit. So students ka position vector with respect to the main door becomes one state. Next day, students come, they again sit wherever they want. Many of them will sit at the same place, some of them will end up changing places. So that new position vectors ki value of individual kids is your new state of the system. That means सिस्टम को समझने के लिए उसके स्टेट को समझना पड़ेगा, एंड स्टेट को समझने के लिए फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज को समझना पड़ेगा. करेक्ट. सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट प्रॉपर्टीज देन. बिफोर वी गो अहेड एक इजी सा क्वेश्चन कर लेते हैं, एंड विल टॉक अबाउट प्रॉपर्टीज देन व्हेन वी कम बैक टू थियरी. नाउ डोंट गिव योर आंसर्स, जस्ट थिंक अबाउट इट. डोंट गिव आंसर्स, जस्ट थिंक अबाउट इट. ओपन, क्लोज्ड एंड आइसोलेटेड. Kettle means closed thing. Kettle is a closed vessel. If you open a kettle and use, that will be called a pot. If there is any doubt, please ask. No mat likho, no mat likho. If anybody has any doubt, just ask. I will wait for 10 seconds, then I'll move ahead. 10, 9, fifth one. Tea placed in a thermos flask. थर्मस फ्लास्क इज एन आइसोलेटेड सिस्टम ना, अभी डिस्कस किया था सर, बट यहाँ तो लिखा नहीं है कि थर्मस बंद किया है कि नहीं. इट इज अज्यूम दैट द थर्मस फ्लास्क इज क्लोज्ड. प्रथम सस्ते वाले नहीं, अच्छे वाले थर्मस फ्लास्क की बात हो रही है, एंड ऑब्वियसली वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एन आइडियल थर्मस फ्लास्क. फर्स्ट वन एंड थर्ड वन, व्हाट इज द डाउट इन द फर्स्ट वन? चलो मैं सारा ही एक डिस्कस कर लेता हूँ. फर्स्ट वन, ट्री. ट्री exchanges matter from the surroundings in the form of CO2 and water vapor. It obviously responds to heat changes in the surroundings. So tree therefore is an open system. A pond gets heated up if outside temperature is high, gets cooled if outside temperature is low. The water evaporates from the pond. You can take out a fish from a pond, you can take out water from a pond. So therefore it's an open system. Animals are also body temperature depends on the surrounding ka body temperature, right? Our skin responds to external temperature, and we eat and we shit, so that is the mass transfer part of it. Tea placed in a kettle. In a kettle, as I said, we are talking about a closed kettle. So I can heat a kettle, but I cannot take anything out of it. So it is a closed system. An ideal thermos flask may there will be a closed ideal thermos flask may there will be no heat and mass transfer, so it is an isolated system. Tea placed in a cup, उसमें से water भी evaporate होगा और वो ठंडा भी होगा, so it is transferring heat and energy both. सर what if it was a miniature pond? अरे any pond उसमें से water evaporate होगा कि नहीं होगा? If you say, no, sir, I have closed the box, then it becomes a closed system, isn't it? Clear, guys? Done? Anything else that you would like to ask? Yeah, so how does an animal body maintain its temperature? It responds to external temperature, right? You lose heat to the surrounding. That is how you maintain your body temperature. So heat exchange kiya na. An open system with no loss of energy, I doubt that, because whenever mass will move, energy goes along with it. Energy and mass will be hand in hand. If we assume a glass as a system, then its boundaries are imaginary. The top boundary is imaginary, the side boundaries are real. I think you are late to class, because that is what we discussed a while back. Quiz question, 5 seconds for the slide to load, and then 30 seconds for you to answer. Answer the correct one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Ten more seconds. Time up. Only 73% of you saying C, 20% saying A. यार तुम कौन सा थर्मस फ्लास्क वापरते हो मालूम नहीं, थोड़ा महंगी क्वालिटी का, अच्छी क्वालिटी का वापरो, उसका ढक्कन अच्छे से बंद रखो, तो उसमें से जनरली हीट और मास लॉस नहीं होता है। और अभी चिल्ला चिल्ला के मेरे गला दुख गया कि आइसोलेटेड सिस्टम ही होता है थर्मस फ्लास्क। प्रथम से अभी डिस्कस भी कर रहा था मैं। चलो नेक्स्ट। Now, I'm not going to explain you the interpretation of this diagram. You have to understand it yourself. Confusing hai to figure out a way to understand it and then answer accordingly. Yes, exactly, Priyanshu. Time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Time running out, 5 more seconds. Time up. Lots of confusion between A and D. This sign means that transfer is allowed, and this sign here should mean that transfer is not allowed. So energy mass both transfer is not allowed, matlab isolated, and energy mass both transfer is allowed, matlab open system. So open and isolated, that is D. Yeah, I said the diagram is as it is, make sense out of it. If you say that sir सारे एरो सेम है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, सारे एरो सेम है, तो ऐसा तो कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है in which both the systems are marked as same. अरे, where am I saying that you know you know what these arrows means? But I can clearly understand that A and B are different systems, right? A में boundary पे I have written arrow signs. B में boundary पे I have not written arrow signs. In closed system, I will show it like this, that matter is not transferring, but energy is transferring. समझ में आया? दिस इज नॉट अ स्टैंडर्ड कन्वेंशन, इट इज जस्ट अ क्वेश्चन. You got this question in exam, what to do now? This is the most logical way to answer it. This is not a convention, just a sample question. Okay, chalo. So guys, we talked about system, we talked about types of system, we talked about boundaries, we talked about type of boundaries. Then we also said that to study a system, we need to assign, to study a system, we need to assign a state to the system, isn't it? And state to the system can be found out based on the values of physical properties. Now, physical properties are of two types: intensive properties or extensive properties. Intensive properties means the physical properties that do not depend upon the amount of sample taken. Intensive properties are those properties that do not depend upon amount of sample taken. For example, you have 1 liter of water. Okay, you have 1 liter of water. You take 10 ml sample of it, you measure the temperature. You take 50 ml sample of it, you measure the temperature. Will it be different? No, it will not be different. So temperature will be called as intensive property. उस सेम वाटर सैंपल का, उस सेम वाटर सैंपल का जो 1 लीटर था, आई नाउ मेजर डेंसिटीज. I measure density of 1 ml. I measure density of 10 ml. Will I get different density? No, because they were taken from the same sample. So density becomes a intensive property again. Is the meaning of intensive property understanding? Intensive properties are properties that do not depend upon amount of substance taken. Now, how is pressure an intensive property therefore? How is pressure an intensive property therefore? We'll come back to defining pressure as an intensive property in just a moment's time. Let me first talk about extensive, then I'll be able to explain you pressure better. Extensive properties are basically those properties जो उल्टा होगा intensive से. That means they depend upon the amount of substance taken. Mass, moles, volume. The more amount of substance you take, the more mass it will have. Generally, the mole it will have. Generally, more volume it will have. Isn't it? So extensive properties are properties that depend upon the amount of substance taken. Now, if we talk about, let's say, internal energy or any enthalpy, कोई नाम नहीं लिया मैंने, एनी एंथैल्पी. इनके यूनिट्स क्या होंगे गाइस? इनके यूनिट्स होंगे जूल्स इन जनरल. Now, do you agree that you don't know anything about them in detail right now? Enthalpy for you right now means energy, isn't it? Do you agree that more the amount of substance taken, more will be its energy content? More the amount of substance taken, more will be its energy content. So, therefore, any form of energy will become extensive property. Now, I am saying molar internal energy. Molar internal energy, or I am saying molar enthalpy. Molar means what? Per mole. याद करो. Molar means per mole. Correct? Now, these quantities के units are joule per mole, implies they are defined for 1 mole of the substance only. So, no matter whether you take 5 gram of it, whether you take 50 gram of it, joule per mole तो same आ जाएगा ना. Joule would be the energy content and divided by its number of moles. So, joule per mole will always be the same, isn't it? I repeat, the numerator is the total energy, the denominator is basically the total mass or total amount. So, total energy upon total amount becomes energy per unit amount. And that is why it will then become intensive in nature. I don't know whether you have heard this term or no, called heat capacity. नाम सुना है? हीट कैपेसिटी, ठीक है, आई विल हेल्प यू आउट. Heat capacity is joule per Kelvin. Heat capacity is joule per Kelvin. Whenever we use the term specific, whenever we use the term specific, it means per unit mass. It means per unit mass. Like molar means what? Per mole. Therefore, specific word would mean per kg or per gram. Now, which is intensive? Which is intensive? Which is intensive, that is does not depend on amount of substance. Time up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay, there is seems to be a lot of confusion here. uh, I'm starting a thumbs up thumbs down poll for whether you understood this part or no. There are reds coming up. Reds, ask your doubt fast. Lots of reds coming up. 15 reds. You have to ask, what did you not understand? Which part? If the amount of a substance is more, its energy will be more, isn't it? Because energy comes from the interaction between molecules. So if the amount of a substance is more, matlab molecules are more, that means energy content is more. So these are extensive properties. But if I divide that energy by its amount, if I divide that energy by its amount, then it becomes independent of amount, isn't it? It is something like saying 10 joules is the energy for 1 gram. 10 joules is the energy for, let's say, 5 gram. So joule per gram means what? 2. Now, if you take 2 gram of the substance or 10 gram of the substance, joule per gram to same ही रह जाएगा ना, because the substance is the same. Is this point now clear? The first one, internal energy and molar internal energy wala. Great. The same thing. So what I want you to take away from here is that when you use the term molar, matlab it is per mole. Similarly, when you use the word specific, it is per mass, kg or gram, whatever. So, so heat capacity means what? Heat capacity means energy content. Specific heat capacity means energy content per unit mass. So question again, which is intensive? Which does not depend upon the amount of substance? Time up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Still lot of kids answering A, but definitely a better response. डाउट है तो पूछ लो, नहीं तो मैं 5 सेकंड में आगे बढ़ रहा हूँ. If you have not understood anything, please ask in the next 5 seconds. Because joule, because Kelvin is an intensive property and joule is an extensive property. So overall ये चीज mass पे depend कर जाएगी ना. If joule is extensive, I multiply or divide it by intensive. Overall, it will still depend on mass, isn't it? because I multiplied something depending on mass with something not depending on mass. So not depending on what the mass wala part does not matter. If you change the mass, this part changes. So overall, it is still extensive. Is it now understood? So now let's talk about this. What happens if I multiply two extensive properties? What will I get? Intensive or extensive? I will get extensive only because this will also depend on mass. This will also depend on mass. So their product will definitely depend on mass. What about the next? Extensive into intensive will be extensive. Second part will not, but first part will depend, na, isn't it? Intensive into intensive will definitely be intensive. ये हो गया multiplication. Now let's come to division. Extensive upon extensive will be now intensive. Extensive upon intensive will be extensive only. And intensive upon intensive will be intensive again. Got it? Why intensive and extensive upon extensive? Because numerator depends on the amount of substance, denominator also depends on the amount of substance. So overall, it will become independent. Like density. Density is mass per unit volume, isn't it? Density is mass per unit volume. Mass depends on amount, volume depends on amount. Overall, density is independent of amount. 1 minute, wait please. यार ये सब चीजों में मैं इतना इतना टाइम नहीं स्पेंड करने वाला हूँ. Shardul, I am not saying formula wise extensive upon extensive is intensive. I'm saying because it will actually end up getting cancelled because of its property itself, not because of the unit. For example, joule is an extensive property, mole is an extensive property, but joule per mole becomes intensive. उसके फॉर्मूले में कहाँ आया? जूल के फॉर्मूले में नहीं आया. ये रहा ना जानवी, I have answered your question, isn't it? Once you asked the question earlier, I have put these arrows. What does it mean? Intensive does not depend on mass because mass is already taken into account in units. Pratham, I would rather say intensive does not have mass in its units at all. What is molecular weight? What is molecular weight? Extensive or intensive? What is molecular weight? Extensive or intensive? Intensive, right? It is again the ratio of two extensive properties, weight and moles, weight per unit mole, right? So similarly, you can now let's talk about pressure and then we'll move ahead. Pressure is what? Force per unit area. Force will depend upon the amount of substance. Surface area will also depend upon the amount of substance. So pressure becomes what? Intensive property. इसी को एक गैस सिस्टम के पर्सपेक्टिव से भी देख सकते हैं. You have a box full of gas. You have a box full of gas. You have a box full of gas, and you simply make a partition in between. Volume becomes half. Moles will also become half. So the pressure will remain same. Is it understood? So for gas based systems particularly, pressure is an intensive quantity when when one of the other parameters is constant, p v या t में से. Pressure is an intensive quantity when p v या t में से one of them is a constant. Only then it will come out to be intensive. नहीं तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगा ना. If you put a partition and you don't keep moles equal, then will you get the pressure same? No, you will not get the pressure same. Clear? Now let's talk about some difficult points. Entropy अभी आपने नहीं पढ़ा है. I agree. Entropy you have not studied till now. I agree. But I'm telling you the units of entropy is joule per Kelvin. Decide कर लो कौन सा intensive है कौन सा extensive, then I will give you the answer. It's a temperature when water can exist in all three forms simultaneously, solid, liquid and gas. तुमको क्या लगता है वो 273 में 0.15 कहां से आया? Done solving. I gave you the units everywhere. I said entropy is joule per Kelvin, implies specific entropy becomes joule per Kelvin kg. ट्रिपल पॉइंट मैंने बता ही दिया. Kelvin pressure we have already discussed as intensive. So I don't think there should be any doubt here. I am solving this question for you, okay, one by one. You can also solve it easily. चलो पहले तुम कर लो फिर मैं करूंगा. Look for, if you don't know what is happening, look for this. This will help you figure it out. If you don't know what is happening, break down the formula of the given quantity and look for this. And use option elimination method, guys. Cancel out the option where you see even a single extensive property. नाम में क्या है गौतम उसके? Gives free energy. बाकी की डिटेल पढ़ेंगे ना इन द चैप्टर व्हेन वी मूव अहेड. Your 30 seconds to answer the question begins now. Good job, many of you solving correctly. Use your memory, guys. You guys don't rely on whatever you learnt just a few moments back. सब भूल जाते हो एकदम से. See, I'll tell you why I get pissed again and again. अभी थोड़ी देर पहले पढ़ाया था ना, हीट कैपेसिटी इज एक्सटेंसिव. अभी थोड़ी देर पहले पढ़ाया था इंटरनल एनर्जी इज एक्सटेंसिव. अभी थोड़ी देर पहले पढ़ाया था नंबर ऑफ मोल्स इज एक्सटेंसिव. सो बाकी कुछ भी नहीं भी पता तो क्वेश्चन तो राइट कर सकते हो ना यार. मूर्ख डफर बन के बैठना है तो प्लीज दूसरे बैच में जाओ. मुझे नहीं चाहिए यहाँ पे. If you cannot recollect what you learnt in the last 1 hour, you don't deserve to sit here, period. If you cannot use your IQ to figure out कि sir talked about these three things, so they are definitely extensive. तो answer तो Bombay है. Let me get marks and then I will ask sir कि how did you get the answer. But still many of you marking A C D. पता नहीं क्या चलता है आप लोग के दिमाग में. I cannot help beyond the point. If you want to hit your head in the wall, I cannot stop you. All I can reason out with you is भाई खून निकल जाएगा मत कर. तुम बोलोगे नहीं चलता है, कोई बात नहीं, तो मारो सर में दीवार. Mole fraction is what? The ratio of number of moles. So this will be intensive. हाँ वही तो किया, दीवार में सर थोड़ी मारा, सर में ही दीवार मारा ना, इतना स्टूपिड सा क्वेश्चन रॉन्ग करके. Standard electrode potential, this you don't know, but we have talked about it a bit in redox कि इसका symbol E naught होता है. And if you remember, we fixed that standard condition मतलब 1 molar concentration, 1 atm pressure. तो amount of substance तो change हो ही नहीं सकता ना. amount of substance change हो ही नहीं सकता, तो वैल्यू भी change हो ही नहीं सकती. तो intensive. Viscosity, if you take 1 gram honey, if you take 10 gram honey, as long as it is the same honey, viscosity is the same. You take a glass slab, and you break it into two. Both of them will have the same refractive index, obviously, if it is the same material. Specific heat capacity, specific heat ratio of two quantities. Specific लिख दिया ना, और heat मतलब क्या? एनर्जी. तो डेफिनेटली जूल पर केजी टाइप तो आएगा ही आएगा. That means again intensive. Density, mass per unit volume. This was extensive. Density, mass per unit volume, तो intensive. Energy, specific कहीं नहीं लिखा है, molar कहीं नहीं लिखा है. That means extensive. Internal energy, again extensive. We discussed this. Number of moles depends on mass or amount, extensive. Molarity means mole per unit volume. Extensive upon extensive. So intensive. स्टैंडर्ड इलेक्ट्रोड पोटेंशियल में क्वांटिटीज फिक्स करी हुई थी, तो इलेक्ट्रोड पोटेंशियल में तो क्वांटिटी चेंज करने से वोल्टेज चेंज हो जाएगा, इजंट इट? मोर अमाउंट ऑफ सब्सटेंस गेटिंग रिड्यूस्ड और ऑक्सीडाइज्ड विल जनरेट मोर वोल्टेज, so this becomes extensive. This is how it is to be solved in detail, but I was not expecting that anyways. I didn't want you to do that anyways. I wanted you to just understand the underlined ones, but no. Now, having understood every time specific comes, yes, you can, Gautam. Sir, is it that whenever we have specific, yes, it is intensive. Specific या molar, specific या molar would mean per mole या per kg. So we have understood that properties can be extensive, properties can be intensive. Sir, why do we call them extensive या intensive? क्योंकि ये नाम तो कहीं relate नहीं हो रहा, depends on amount of substance or no. Intensive basically derives from intensity. Intensive basically derives from intensity, and extensive basically derives from, along with intensity, I have to also tell you the amount. That is why they have the names extensive and intensive. Okay, now tell me one thing. Suppose there is a building, a 10-story building. You have to go to second floor. You decided I will climb the stairs. You started climbing the stairs. You were listening to Walkman. Walkman नहीं, बहुत पुराना हो गया. You were listening to some music. You ended up reaching the fourth floor. Walking. Then you decided, let's go back down 2 stories. So from fourth you came down to second. Okay. So you went from 0 to 4, 4 to second. This is one way. This is one way of reaching the second floor. Second is you were smart enough कि मेरे साथ पहले ऐसा हो चुका है. Let me really remove the music, and then you reach directly second floor from the ground floor. Is the work done same? अरे फिजिक्स वालों के हिसाब से नहीं, फिजिक्स वालों के हिसाब से यू आर अ बॉडी ऑफ मास m. Obviously work done is not same. Work done is not same. Why can I say that initial and final points were same, but path taken to reach the final point was different? Initial and final points were same, but the path taken for the for the process was different. They are called state functions. They are called state functions that not only depend on the initial and final value, but also depend on how the process was performed. What do you mean by state function? State function means thermodynamic properties which depend not only on initial and final state, but also depend upon the path taken to reach the final state. Is it clear? So, what would you mean by a that is called a path function? What do you mean by a state function? A state function means that does not depend on the path, only depends upon the initial and final value. For example, I have a system now at temperature T1. I define I define temperature as the physical quantity here. So, can I say that can I say that temperature here is a state function because only the actual value of temperature matters. How I reached from T1 to TF does not matter in the actual value of TF. So temperature becomes a state function. On the contrary, work done becomes a path function. Work done becomes a path function. When we study work, listen to my statement very carefully. When we study work, we will study that work is basically the integral of pressure volume graph. हम इसका डेरिवेशन पढ़ेंगे बाद में. वर्क इज एन इंटीग्रल ऑफ प्रेशर वॉल्यूम ग्राफ, मतलब वर्क इज एरिया अंडर प्रेशर वॉल्यूम ग्राफ. फिजिक्स वालों ने बताया होगा ये चीज. Integral of a graph means the area under the graph. And therefore, as you can see, the point A and point 1 and point 2 are fixed. But what is different? Because the path was different, the area under the graph is different, and therefore the work will be different. Is it understood? So state functions do not depend on the path. Path functions depend on the path as well as the initial and final position. यहाँ पे एक कॉमन मिस्टेक हो जाता है. यू से दैट पाथ फंक्शन डिपेंड्स ओनली ऑन पाथ एंड स्टेट फंक्शंस डिपेंड ओनली ऑन स्टेट. ये रॉन्ग है. State functions depend only on state, but path functions will depend on state as well as path. So, sir, can you give us some examples in which we have path functions or state functions, या how to identify them? क्योंकि अभी तो हमने कुछ खास पढ़ा नहीं है. तो I'll tell you one very very simple point. In thermodynamics chapter, there will only be two path functions that you will talk about. One is heat, one is work. In thermodynamic chapter, you'll be talking about only two path functions, that is heat and work. Rest all are state functions. And state function की एक special property होती है that I can use delta. Don't you think so? Delta means what? Final minus initial. And final minus initial किस property के लिए बोल सकता हूं? जो सिर्फ depend करे final and initial पे. Is the point making sense? We can use the term delta only with those properties which will depend only on final and initial value. अगर बीच वाले पॉइंट पे डिपेंड करता तो मैं चेंज इन टी थोड़ी बोलता, टी फाइनल माइनस टी इनिशियल. सो डेल्टा टी, डेल्टा यू, डेल्टा एच, डेल्टा एस, डेल्टा जी, डेल्टा जिसके भी आगे आप डेल्टा लगा सकते हो, दैट इज अ स्टेट फंक्शन. अनदर वे टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस वेरी क्विकली. हीट Heat is always associated with a path, with a process. Heat is never associated with a state. You cannot say that this pen has 30 joule of heat in it. After performing a process, it now has 40 joule of heat in it. Does it make sense? What makes sense that this pen, in performing a process, lost 10 joule of heat or gained 10 joule of heat, isn't it? Similarly, work में भी ऐसा ही होता है ना. Work is always associated with a path, with a process. Work performed is so much. Work is not stored inside directly. We don't say that the body has work W1, it performs W2, so now it has W1 minus W2. We don't do that, right? That, by that logic, you should understand, you should be able to understand it. That heat and work are associated with a path, with a process, not with a state. Quick. If there is any doubt, please ask. सर और कौन सी क्वांटिटीज होंगी जिसके आगे डेल्टा यूज कर सकते हैं? वी विल कीप लर्निंग देम एज एंड व्हेन वी गो अहेड. चलो, क्वेश्चन टाइम. टाइम स्टार्ट्स इन 5. Please read carefully. I don't want misclick. I will not entertain misclick. Your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Time up. एंथैल्पी का मैंने आपको ऑल्टरनेट मीनिंग क्या बताया हुआ है? टिल वी डिस्कस इट इन करेक्टेड वे. एनर्जी. राइट. एनर्जी. एनर्जी डिपेंड्स अपॉन द अमाउंट ऑफ सब्सटेंस टेकन. तो वो तो करेक्ट है, तो ये तो आंसर नहीं हो सकता. इट इज इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ द पाथ फॉलोड फॉर द चेंज. मतलब इट इज इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ द पाथ फॉलोड फॉर द चेंज. इसका क्या मतलब है? दैट इट इज अ स्टेट फंक्शन, इजंट इट? क्वेश्चन इज सिंगल करेक्ट. ऑप्शन ए एंड सी आर सेम. कैन दे बी द आंसर? नो. सो ऑटोमेटिकली बी द आंसर. नहीं भी आता है तो ये सब जुगाड़ लगाना सीख लो. If you don't know the answer that it was B, use this jugad at least. And now, and we just saw here, what is this? H is a symbol for enthalpy. I think I have mentioned it earlier once. But नहीं भी किया था तो कोई बात नहीं. H is a symbol for enthalpy. S is a symbol for entropy. So, enthalpy change is a state function. Hence, it is a state function. तो ये तो statement right है. और एनर्जी is always a extensive property. Energy per mole या energy per kg will be an intensive property. Next. Quiz starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. नाम बुला बुला के डांटेगा. प्रियांशु कुमार, जिष्णु, गोकुल, अर्नव, रम्या, निहाल, याना गुप्ता, सेतु, शार्दुल, आदित्य विद डबल ए, श्रीनाथ मुरली, क्या चल रहा है? कुछ भी मार्क कर रहे हो? प्रीशा, सिमरन, आकाश खंडेलवाल। नॉट अ स्टेट फंक्शन मींस व्हाट? इंग्लिश पढ़ोगे बचपन में तो नॉट मतलब नेगेशन। नेगेशन ऑफ अ स्टेट फंक्शन मींस अ पाथ फंक्शन। कितने टाइप के पाथ फंक्शन आपको बताए मैंने? हाउ मेनी एग्जांपल्स ऑफ पाथ फंक्शन डिड आई गिव यू? एब्सोल्युटली टू, with no doubt. One Q and other W. One heat and another work. This is called work. WORK. This is not to be covered here. So, guys, this is the best I can do about state function and path function. Intensive and extensive. थोड़ा सा पढ़ो टेक्स्ट बुक से, एनसीईआरटी से, और एनी रेफरेंस बुक से. इफ यू स्टिल डोंट अंडरस्टैंड, प्लीज डू कम एंड आस्क. बट दिस इज द बेस्ट एनीबडी कैन डू. उससे ज्यादा मतलब नथिंग कैन बी डन. So last part of the chapter of today's class, that is internal energy. What do we mean by internal energy of a system? Now, suppose I have a box which is full of gas. The box is stationary. Okay, the box is kept on the table. It is stationary. Does it mean that the particles inside the box are not moving at all? Does it mean that the box is not moving at all? Yes. So now listen to my point. Out of the total energy of the system, if I take away macroscopic kinetic energy out of the total energy of the system, if I take away the energy due to macroscopic motion, मतलब पूरा सिस्टम की मूवमेंट की वजह से, if I take away that energy, whatever energy is left behind is called internal energy. If from the total energy of the system we take away the energy associated with macroscopic movement, that is movement of the system as a whole, whether rotation, whether translation, whatever, the whatever left energy is called as internal energy. Now to put it in better terms, internal energy is the total energy content of a system when it is at rest. Internal energy is the total energy content of the system when it is at rest. Now, total energy of the system would mean what? It would mean kinetic energy of individual molecules as well as potential energy of individual molecules. That means energy due to attraction repulsion between molecules and energy due to motion of molecules itself. Now, motion of molecules can be of three types: rotational, translational, and vibrational. Please ask doubts if you have not understood the meaning of internal energy. There is a box which is stationary, it is not moving, and then the energy content of the box will be called its internal energy. There is a box full of gas, or let's say box full of water. I'll repeat, no problem. Now, suppose you have a box full of gas. It is right now moving with velocity v. The box is moving with velocity v. What will be the kinetic energy of the box? Half mv square. Now, this kinetic energy, half mv square, is due to the motion of the entire system. Okay? And that is what I'm calling as energy due to motion. Is there any other energy in this system? Yes, there is more energy in the system also. How? Because the gas molecules are interacting with each other. Potential energy of the system. The gas molecules themselves are rotating, revolving, and rotating, vibrating, and moving around. So that energy is also not yet accounted for. तो सर जब काइनेटिक एनर्जी बोला हाफ एम वी स्क्वायर, तो वो क्या था? That was the energy due to relative motion of the box with respect to me, isn't it? I was stationary. The box was moving with velocity v. So half mv square is due to the relative motion of the box with respect to me. But if I am not moving, the box is also kept stationary. Then whatever energy is present in the box will be called its internal energy. Energy due to potential and energy due to motion, but of the individual molecules, not the entire system. Now clear? Divakar, it is not about disappointing. It is about being utter stupid. आप सही क्वेश्चन रॉन्ग करो, मेरे को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट आप स्टूपिड बनोगे तो मेरे को बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम है, बिकॉज दैट मीन्स यू आर बीइंग केयरलेस. फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट थोड़ा सा बचा है इंटरनल एनर्जी का पार्ट. we'll cover in the next lecture, that is Monday. And don't worry, internal whatever we have covered till today, that only we I will give in the test in the coming weekend. Sure, Priyanshu. uh, Path functions will depend upon the actual process, like you went to the fourth floor and then you came back down to the second floor. But state functions will not depend on the process. It will only depend on the first floor or the ground floor and the second floor. For example, potential energy, your potential energy was a state function, because earlier it was at ground level, now it is at second floor level, mgh. But the work performed by our body is dependent on path. You went on the fourth floor, you came down to second floor. So path functions not only will depend upon the final and initial state, but will also depend on the path followed. Gautam, that star feature appears to be disabled. Why are extensive properties additive and intensive properties not additive? Very good question, Amna. It is not that extensive properties are additive. It's a good question. Please read, everybody. Can I say any two extensive properties are additive? Can I say any extensive properties are additive? Absolutely no. The two properties have to be same, isn't it? So same logic is valid on intensive properties also. If it's the same property, then it will get added. Otherwise, no. I cannot add mass with volume, right? Similarly, I cannot add temperature with pressure. The dimensions have to come out same. I am leaving the slides here. We have reached till 52. There is hardly 10, 12 slides left. I am leaving them here. Aditya, I have not discussed all this. I will discuss everything in the next class. I have discussed till year 51. Yes, Gautam, I am coming to that. Uh, 52 onwards, I will cover in the next class. Now, before we move ahead, we did a small mistake yesterday in one of the questions in the class. ये वाला जो question था, what is the box down? What is the box here down the slide? I have no box, so I have no idea. Oh, like that way, Amna. So, intensive properties are material dependent. Extensive properties are not material dependent. So, I'll be able to add extensive properties, but I'll not be able to add intensive properties. स्लाइड 52 में डिपेंडेंट पता नहीं क्या वो टाइपिंग मिस्टेक हुआ होगा कुछ. Now, pay attention. We discussed this question yesterday, याद है? We made a grave error in the beginning. We made a grave error in the beginning, जिसकी वजह से it entire question became a mess. What was the error? Let me tell you that, and then probably you can start solving it again. यहाँ का वैल्यू कितना आया था? This was x plus y by 2 and whole divide by 2, right? Now, He's saying me equal volumes of both the gases are taken. Equal volumes implies equal moles. If this mole is 1, if this mole is 1, implies x plus y by 2 should also be 1. Is it possible? X plus y by 2 whole divided by 2. That means x plus y by 2 is just 2. This will be possible only for one set of values, that is x is 1, y is 2. Think about it. This is valid only for one set of value, x is 1, y is 2. So you're wrong here. Hence I cannot do that. This means that is a limiting reagent wala question. This means it is a limiting reagent question. You will have to assume this as the limiting reagent and then solve. हाँ तो गौतम, I realized my mistake now overall. If you take cx hyOz, वो भी wrong, वो भी wrong हो गया, because this itself will give you the answer via limiting reagent method. Yeah, this would be 2x. So again, if you, even if you say this is 2x, you will still get a very small set of values that will match here, because x and y have to be integers also, isn't it? तब तो फिर यही solution बनेगा, nothing else. So you'll get trapped even further. That implies it's a limiting reagent question. Solve again, you'll get the answer this time. With this, I take your leave, guys. We'll see you soon. Please solve gaseous state. And I'm sorry if I blasted, but don't be stupid. Don't be careless. It's not worth it. It becomes a habit of being careless. Bye, guys. Take care. Good night and stay negative.